How do I learn more about my gates is a question that I get almost daily. What are gates? What am I talking about? I teach human design. Gates are your specific activations, and some call them your specific gifts in your chart. And people look at that and they go, that's the thing I need to know. Even though there are 26 of them, they go, that's the thing. So I'm going to tell you, first of all, don't. If you're brand new to human design, just don't go there. It'll confuse and overwhelm you. Your gates are what activates your entire chart. You can't not do your gates. There's nothing you need to figure out. There's nothing you need to focus on. There's nowhere you need to go to figure out the gates. It will happen inevitably. But if you're like me and you have a hard time sometimes deciding things or knowing exactly what to focus on, the gates can help a little bit. But what helps more, always and forevermore, is understanding your strategy and authority. So if you haven't done that, if you haven't practiced that, I'm always going to remind you, go back and do that first, because that, again, has been informed by the gates themselves. Strategy and authority, okay? Strategy is how you manage your aura. So your type tells us the shape and expression of your aura. Your strategy tells us how to use that aura. Your signature and not self theme will tell us if you're doing your strategy correctly or not. And then your authority will tell you once something comes in via your strategy, if it's correct for you or not. I have videos on every type, every strategy, every authority, all of the signature and not self themes, and I have them well organized in my website. When you pull your chart for free, the links to your specific strategy, authority, signature and not self themes will all be there for you. But back to the gates, a few things that you need to know when you're looking at gates. First of all, you want to have in your awareness what energy center does that gate live in, okay? Because in the body graph, the gates are in fixed placements, okay? So I'll give you my chart, for example. My leading gate, my personality sun gate is in gate 13. Gate 13 is in the G center. So no matter what I read or learn about this gate, I have to remember that the overarching theme of this gate matches the overarching theme of that energy center, which is love, direction, purpose, and identity, okay? You following me so far? Because we're going to have to layer the information. You can't just learn about the gate without all of the nuance and all of the layers that go with it. So step one, what energy center does it live in? Step two, is it on the right column or is it on the left column? If it's on the right column, you're aware of it. It's conscious to you, okay? It'll resonate for you. Go, yes, I've had that experience. If it shows up in the left column though, it's unconscious to you. You'll go, I'm not sure, maybe. Or you'll go, other people tell me that, but that's not how I really feel, because it's unconscious, okay? So left side unconscious, right side conscious. Next, you want to know what planet or placement activates that gate. So using that same example, my personality sun, the gate of the listener, when I am a good listener, I feel like I'm shining. I'm aware that I become brighter, right? My energy becomes brighter, my aura becomes brighter, kind of like the sun. But I have another gate activation in my south node, for example, and this is the energy that I'm meant to move away from. So I wouldn't look at that gate and go, something to do, more just something to be aware of. Next, when you look at gate 13, you're going to see there's a little decimal and then a number after it. The line that it's in matters because there's a keynote attached to that line. So another thing that I would need to know about gate 13 for myself in the sun, in the G center, is that it's in a first line. And a first line is about doing research and having foundational knowledge. So there's something in my energy about getting the foundations and learning how to be a good listener so that I can be shinier. All right, so hopefully all of this is making sense so far. You really do need to know all of those things. And if that has blown your mind or if that's too complicated, highly recommend a reading. Even if it's not with me, a professional reader will be able to look at all of that nuance and all of the communication between the parts of your chart and explain it to you very thoroughly. But if you're a researcher or DIYer like me and you're like, okay, I'm following you, give me more. There are tons and tons of free resources. There are tons and tons of free resources on gates. I have a bunch. For example, my Pinterest has an entire board dedicated to gates, so you can kind of pick apart the gates that you have and put them into your own little board so that you can get a depth of understanding. My blog has all of the gates listed. My favorite book on gates is by another creator here on TikTok. Her store is called Ceremonience. I'll see if I can tag it. She has an excellent book called Animal Totems and the I Ching. And basically it will show you the gate number, all of the keynotes of that gate, the foundational information from the I Ching. It'll give you information about the gene key that is associated, the human design information, and it'll give you an animal totem that really kind of carries that same energy. I think it's a great way to learn. I have loved using that as a reference tool. There's a website called humandesign.tools that has all of the gates categorized and listed out. I don't always love the way that the information is presented, but it is concise. And then my two favorite apps are myhumandesign.com and Neutrino Design. My Human Design is the name of the app. She also has a website, myhumandesign.com, but that's mostly just to pull your chart. I don't think she has the gates listed there, but she does have them listed as gifts on her app. Pretty sure you have to pay for that part though. And then Neutrino Design, pretty sure you have to pay for that as well to get access to all of the different parts. I gave a lot of information in this video, so make sure you save it so that you can come back to it as you learn more and more about the gates in human design.